Hi everyone, I'm Donna Stellhorn, and today is New Moon Wishes.
Hi everyone, it's Donna Stellhorn and this is New Moon Wishes. We do this class every month. This is the video version of this class, but there's a live version too. If you're interested in joining us for the live version, send me an email at donnastellhorn.com and I'll send you the date and time and the access codes for the class. All right, let's talk about New Moon Wishes. In this class, we're going to be writing down our wishes for this new moon. You're going to need a sheet of paper and a pencil. And while you're getting those, I just want to tell you a little bit about me. I'm an astrologer and feng shui expert with more than 20 years experience, and I have 10 books out. These are just a few of those. Also, I'm going to be giving some classes, both Skype classes and live classes. So I want to tell you a little bit about those. For a full list of classes, go to my website, fengshuiform.com, and click on classes. Or send me an email and I'll send you a link to the class list. Now, as I said, these are going to be live and Skype classes. And so the Skype classes will be recorded. Once the classes are done, you'll have access to the recording so you can review the material. If you don't know how to use Skype, I have a couple of videos I can send you. Skype's pretty easy and it's completely free. Now, I'm recording these classes so you can review the material whenever you want, but I do want people to join me for the live Skype classes. I'm offering a 6-week series called How to Find the Money in Your Chart. In this class, we're going to be talking about how money finds you based on your natal chart and where to focus your energy to get more money. Then we're going to talk about how to improve your financial situation using electional charts. And finally, we'll be measuring the results of your efforts by using my super simple horary method. This is an astrology class for people who have an understanding of planets, signs, and houses. This class is best for someone who has been studying astrology before. If you're an absolute beginner, this class might be a challenge for you. Now, I pre-recorded the first class of this series and I put it on YouTube. So check that out. Just go to my channel, Donna Stellhorn, and check out that class. And if you find it interesting and at your level, please sign up for the series. There's also a beginning astrology class I'm giving called Best Time for Action: How to Use an Astrology Calendar. This is a 6-class series that teaches you how to use the information like Mercury retrograde, daily aspects, and movements of the inner planets to help you find the best time for actions. Now, the actions could be anything from moving, changing jobs, phoning a new client, asking for money, putting in a job application, calling somebody for a date, having somebody move in with you, even buying a new phone. You want to have the best time to take these types of actions. Now, for this class, no previous astrology experience is needed. We're going to be going through the basics. All you're going to need is an astrology calendar, very easy to find on Amazon and other websites. And we are going to take a look at that, comparing it to your natal chart, and we're going to be able to find the best time to be taking action. I'm also offering a feng shui class called Attracting Opportunities Using Feng Shui to Change Your Life. In this 6-class session, we are going to be talking about how to bring in new opportunities using feng shui principles. We'll be focusing on your front door and entryway. We're going to discuss things like direction, color, artwork, symbols, and special activations you can do to stimulate energy. And then I have 2 social media classes coming up. So if you are a writer or you have a spiritual business or practice, consider taking one of these series. Now, you may know, well, because I just told you, that I have published my 10th book. And so I'm very involved in marketing through social media. So I have a class coming up called Effective Social Media for Writers. I use Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter, and a little bit of Pinterest, along with YouTube, WordPress, and Blogger blogs to promote my writing. So in this 5-session class, we'll be talking about how you, as an author, can market your book even before it's written. So this is about using social media the best way to generate sales. I'll also be giving a class called Effective Social Media for Your Spiritual Practice or Business. If you're a massage therapist, Reiki practitioner, life coach, astrologer, tarot reader, or in some other spiritually based business, this is the class for you. Now, I've been a professional astrologer for nearly 30 years, but my business grew exponentially when I was able to incorporate social media into my marketing. This is a 5-class series, and we're going to be talking about all different types of social media platform, but we're going to get down to the nuts and bolts. How to use them, what are the steps you take, what can you skip and not use and not bother with so that you can convert people who are interested into actual paying customers. All these classes are being offered via Skype, and they will be recorded so you can review them later. I'm so happy you joined us for New Moon Wishes. Let's get started. We have a couple things to talk about today before we get to our wishes. And one is Mercury's gone retrograde as of today. Yes, Mercury's retrograde, and it's going to be retrograde until June 11th. It's also retrograde in Gemini, which is ruled by Mercury, so this is a much more intense Mercury retrograde than normal. So I will tell you, if you're Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, or Pisces, you are particularly affected. However, the rest of us are not off the hook. It will also affect people who have a vehicle, a cell phone, a neighbor, or a sibling, because Gemini rules all of those things too. So for the next few weeks, try to wait to buy a car or get a new phone. Try to avoid arguing with your neighbor or, telling your sibling that mom loves you best, because any of these things can cause major problems in the future. Mercury tends to double your trouble, and so you do not want to do anything like get a traffic ticket or try to get into some complex phone contract, because you're just going to find that you are pulling your hair out later. The other thing we're going to talk about is that this month is a Taurus moon, and the moon, it represents finances, money, prosperity, and having really cool stuff. One thing I like to do during the new moon in Taurus is to see if I can uncover blocks to wealth. And one way to do that is to ask questions and look for signs and symbols to help us figure out what the blocks are. So here's a little exercise to try. Ask yourself a question like, well, I guess it's not a question, but make a statement like, I would like insight into my block to wealth. And then open a dictionary or thesaurus to a random page. The first word you see is related to your question. Now, deciphering this message can take some time, but be patient. Really think about it. Allow that word to really just permeate your consciousness, and you can gain some true insight. Let's do an example right now. I'm thinking about what our collective money block could be, because we're all coming together during the Taurus moon. We are connected in some way, so maybe it is through a similar money block. Maybe it's not, but let's just try this. So I've grabbed my thesaurus and I'm randomly opening the book, dropping my finger to the page, and I get the word layer. Okay, now I've gone and found the dictionary definition of the word layer. Thank you, Google. And so now, again, we're looking at this in relation to what a potential money block could be. So what's a layer? It's a sheet, quality, or thickness of material, typically one of several, covering a surface or body. So isn't that interesting? It's kind of saying that there's something between us and the prosperity. And there is like a blanket or some sort of protective coating, as though prosperity leads us to something that is scary to us, or unpleasant, or even something that maybe we feel will take us in a wrong direction. You know, I know that sometimes we feel that more money brings more work, or more money can make us vulnerable to theft or to negative people, or more money means more responsibility and less carefree lifestyle. So looking at that, is there a layer or some sort of protection that you're doing to keep you away from prosperity? Now let's check our second definition here. A person or thing that lays something. Layer. That didn't even pop into my head. So, and the example here, the worms are prolific egg layers. Total surprise to me. Didn't know that worms had eggs. So, but I guess there's, now that I think about it, it seems odd if they would give birth to a live worm too. So, but I just wasn't really thinking about worms giving birth at all. So, but anyway, let's think about that in relation to wealth. Is it that our block says that we have to create something that's so unique, that we have to go through this long, arduous process to create wealth, that we can't just receive it, that we have to do something to gain it? So just thinking about that, if you guys could mull that over the next few days, shoot me an email if you have some sort of insight, if you have some questions about that. How does the word layer, what does that trigger in your mind when it comes to money and prosperity? So today on this Taurus moon, we're going to be talking about things that we can do to bring in more money. I'm going to call these a personal fortune focus. And today I'm listing them by element. So there are 4 elements in the Western astrology system, and you're familiar with them already: earth, air, fire, and water. And so to find out what element you are, you're going to start with your sun sign. So your sun sign is like being a Libra or a Taurus or a Leo. So get ready, because I'm going to go through these. And when you hear your sign, write down your element. And because we're going to need your elements in a minute. The reason that elements are important in astrology is the elements have a certain energy about them, which is found in certain signs. And so those signs that have that energy are of that element. In a way, the element describes how a person feels would be the best way to handle a situation. So, for example, fire is the sign of action. And so people who are fire signs, they have this innate belief that any problem really could be solved by just taking appropriate action. That action's the key. If we can do something, we can make something better happen. So our fire signs are Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. So you guys are fire signs. The next element is earth. Now, earth is about stability and peacefulness and, just waiting and pausing. And so when we look at this as the example of how to fix any problem, then the answer would be, well, let's just wait and see what happens. Let's just let things come to us, and then we can decide if we want those things. So earth is taking perhaps more passive is a way to say it, but it's not passive in a negative way. It is just as valid a choice as action. So waiting is just as valid as taking action. So anyway, our 3 signs are Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. So Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Our next element is air. And air is all about thinking and communication and decisions and all of that. So when air signs look to solve the problems of the world, they say, well, let's communicate about it. Let's talk to each other. Let's ask some questions. Let's maybe do a spreadsheet. Let's figure out what is the best things to be doing. And so it's a very intellectual sign. And so we have Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. So the three signs, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, are air signs. Our fourth element are water signs, and water is all about emotion. And so we're talking about empathy and being able to express emotions in different ways. So when they look at the problems of the world, they think, if we could understand how other people are feeling, or if the other people could stop hurting our feelings, things would be better. So these water signs are Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. So now that you know your element, here's your personal fortune focus. For fire signs, I figured you would enjoy setting something on fire, so I'm recommending a gold candle. Now, gold is the color of attracting large sums of money. It's perfect for our purposes here. I want you to go and find a gold candle, and I want you to take a pencil or a toothpick, and I want you to actually write into the candle what your need for money is. I want you actually to write from the top of the candle to the bottom of the candle, because we're calling something in. So we're calling it toward us. So we want it to come from the top of the candle down to the bottom of the candle. So lay the candle on its side with the wick to the left and write your money need down the side of the candle. And then it's from top to bottom. And then light the candle and allow it to burn until it goes out by itself. So if you have a small candle, like in this picture, that candle will probably burn in less than 4 hours. You can put it in a bathtub or a fireplace, your kitchen sink, or something like that, if having a candle lit in the house makes you nervous. For earth signs, your personal fortune focus is to make a money tree. So I want you to take some sort of live house plant and some dollar bills. As you can see in the picture, roll up the dollar bills and stick them in the plant. Or if you want, you can take each dollar bill and fold it accordion style. Around the center, put a little twist tie or a piece of pipe cleaner. Is there still pipe cleaners? They're pipe cleaners are those, they look like twist ties, but they're fuzzy. So they come in lots of colors and all that. But I don't know if people still have those. But twist ties, and then attach it to the branches of the plant. And then each week you can add more dollars until the tree is full. But make this a pretty arrangement so you can see money growing. For you air signs out there, your personal fortune focus is a gratitude journal. You guys are the mental sign, and sometimes after, seeing people out in the world or watching TV or watching videos on the internet, you get the idea that everybody's doing better than you are. And it's just not true. You, in many ways, are already very prosperous, especially compared to 90% of the rest of the world. But if you feel prosperous, if you think prosperous thoughts, like attracts like, and you will become more prosperous. So take 2 minutes and do a blessing count. Write down 10 things you feel grateful for, including health and friends and pets and home, etc. But write this down, and if possible, do this every day. You do this for a few weeks, and you will definitely recognize that money is flowing into your life. And for you water signs, Your personal fortune focus is a water meditation, an ocean meditation specifically. But don't worry if you're in the middle of the country and not near the ocean. What we're looking for are the sounds of the ocean. And this is easy to find because right now there are hundreds of apps, free apps, where you can get ocean wave sounds on your phone or your tablet or your desktop computer. So what I want you to do is I want you to play the sounds of the ocean while picturing yourself standing on the beach. And I want you to see the wave come up and almost touch your feet. And what it does is it leaves a pile of gold coins right at your feet. And then the wave goes out and it takes a few coins with it, but then it returns and it brings even more coins. And then maybe you picture yourself scooping down and grabbing some of the coins and putting those in your purse. And you keep doing that. There's more and more coins being left at your feet with every wave. And so those are the meditations, or I should say actions, for the next month for the 4 elements. If you have any questions about this, you can place your question in the comments section below, or again, send me an email anytime, and I will help you out. If you missed what your element was, or you're unsure how to do your focus, just let me know. Okay, so now it's time for us to make our wishes. And we, of course, want to make wishes that really work. So what we always want to do is we want to write down our wishes within 5 days of the new moon. So now if you're watching this video and it's past 5 days, I mean, if you're looking out at the sky and there's a big full moon there, then we know that we're definitely past the 5 days. It's okay. Still go through the process because every little bit helps. But our strongest period is within 5 days of the new moon. So basically the new moon to around the first quarter moon. I want you to write your wishes by hand and use a pencil. And we write our wishes by hand actually because there is a real strong genetic memory of writing things by hand. The truth is we've only been typing for a couple of generations, so our genetic memory for typing is not as strong. But people have been writing things down by hand for thousands of years, and so your genetic memory of empowering yourself by writing is very strong. Always write more than one wish, but no more than 10. I always just do one side of the paper. I don't want to write on the back. And then date and keep your wish list so you can go back later and see how many things manifest. Now, it's very, very rare that a person's going to get all 10 of their wishes every month. Usually we get 2 or 3 that we can cross off. If you find that you're not being able to cross off as many as you like, it's time to change the wording. It's all about the wording. Because wishes are very different than, say, an affirmation. An affirmation you write as though it's already happened. And it's different than a goal. A goal has a quantifiable outcome and usually a date by which it has to be done. A wish is different. A wish is about a tiny adjustment in yourself where what was unseen becomes visible for you. And so it's a way that we clear our inner mind so that we can see the world in a better way. Now, as I said before, this is a Taurus moon. And because of the strong financial energy this month, it's important to shift yourself mentally and spiritually to welcome in money in abundance. Blocks to wealth are often centered around feelings of deserving or worthiness. The people in the world who have lots and lots of money, they feel worthy of it. No matter if they're a good person or a bad person, no matter whether they're doing good in the world or doing evil in the world, they feel they deserve what they have. So with your wishes, you can shift your thinking and start to welcome wealth. So here are the wish examples for the new moon in Taurus. As I've mentioned many times already, Taurus rules money and financial security. So we'll start with those. Our first wish example is, I want to feel feelings of financial abundance. The second one I have here is, I want to easily find myself with more money in my bank account. Number 3 is I want to easily attract more money opportunities. Number 4 that I have is I want to feel confident handling my finances. I think this one's an important one for a lot of people because I think that people wish for more money, and because they're not confident handling their finances, they barely realize when they're getting more money. Number 5, I want to experience financial success in the area of, and then fill in the blank. That might be financial success in the area of a job, but it also could be in the area of a business proposal or in investments or in selling a house. And then the last wish example for this section is I want to feel deserving of the new opportunities that come to me. Now, Moon in Taurus rules possessions. So the first wish for that section is I want to easily find myself acquiring a new, and then fill in the blank, car, home, jewelry, wardrobe, whatever it is. You know, sometimes it's a lot easier to manifest a possession rather than actual cash. And the reason is it's much easier to picture ourselves being in a new home or a new car than it is with the, picturing the abstract numbers of cash. That's why this wish. Wish example number 2 for this section, I want to experience what it's like to have beautiful things. This is also a great wish. Sometimes we get to a place where we're living with all, hand-me-down furniture and things that, that are too worn, or all of our beautiful things are packed away so they'll stay nice. I think that it's super important to pull out the good china and use it on a regular basis. Wear your best clothing. Experience what it's like to have beautiful things. The new moon in Taurus rules living in physical comfort. So our wish examples are, I want to easily find myself living a very comfortable lifestyle. The second one is, I want to enjoy and appreciate my home and possessions. I have started the journey towards minimalism, and I will tell you that I am enjoying my possessions so much more now that I have less. It's very surprising, but I have been working on shrinking my wardrobe down, and it is just such an enjoyable experience to go into my closet because everything now that I own, I really like. This one I can attest to, the less you have, the more you enjoy and appreciate. Now, number 3 in this section is I want to experience a complete sense of contentment with my life. Even if we experience only 5 minutes of complete contentment, we know we can expand that. So it's worth it. Now, the new moon in Taurus rules gratitude. So our wish example is, I want to easily find myself enjoying the simple pleasures of life. Next is, I want to find myself cultivating habits of gratitude. I like that one. Taurus rules persistence. So the wish example is, I want to easily find myself filled with grit and determination for my goals. You might be surprised to see this wish example, but studies have shown, and there's even a TED Talk about this very topic, that by having grit about something, just the thought of grit, or doing the physical action where you ball up your fist and you grit your teeth and you say, I am going to succeed at this, actually increases willpower and increases your ability to succeed. Interesting side note. Our other wish example for persistence is, I easily and effortlessly find myself moving from one important task to the next. This is a great wish to do if you're doing a very large project like writing a book or finishing school, because sometimes we have trouble moving from one portion of it to the next. And so, great wish example. Moon in Taurus rules patience. And so I have Taurus rising, and so I'm always working on learning patience. Those of you who are sun sign Taurus are also learning patience, but Taurus does rule patience, so we are the ones who can figure this out. Our wish example is, I want to easily find myself being patient and allowing the universe to manifest for me. That's a very interesting wish too, because oftentimes we will say to the universe, I want to manifest this. I want a new job, or I want a new house. And then we get frustrated because that job or house doesn't immediately appear. And so we take something less. We take something that wasn't meeting our criteria. But we didn't allow the universe time to get it together. The universe is not instantaneous. There's a portion in The Secret, that movie The Secret, where they give an example of the guy reading, I think he's reading a book about an elephant, and then an elephant appears in the room. And because this instant manifestation, they're saying instant manifestation is not that great a thing. We need to give the universe a little time to manifest what is on our list. Our other wish example here is, I want to allow myself the time it takes to achieve what I truly want. So while we don't want to rush the universe, we also don't want to shortchange ourselves. So that's a great wish to consider. Our next section is self-acceptance. I want to easily feel courage and my personal strength to focus on what's important to me. The next one is, I want to find myself feeling confident about stating my needs. The third one is, I want the tendency to undervalue myself completely lifted from me. There's a lot of people I know who are undervaluing their services and just themselves, and they really consider that one. That's a good one. Oh, and so is the next one. I want to feel deserving of payment for my services. That's an important one. So many of you are so incredibly talented, and yet you keep cutting your payments, or you're not charging enough, and therefore you have to do other things which are not the things you want to do, etc. And then finally, I want to experience a feeling of worthiness when I talk to others about money. And then the wish examples we do every month, the money, love, and health wishes are next. Of course, we've talked about money quite a bit, but we still do have some general money wishes that we can do, just in case you haven't filled up your page with all money wishes already. First one is, I want to easily find myself being more comfortable with money. Second one is, I want to easily release any blocks I have with attracting more money. I want to easily find myself appreciating the abundance already in my life. I want to easily and effortlessly find myself asking for and then fill in the blank, job, the sale, the appointment. And then my personal favorite, I want to easily find myself drawing money and opportunity like a magnet. That's actually a good Taurus one, because a magnet doesn't have to go out and do anything. It's very Earth-like. So it's just, I'm just going to sit here and things will come to me. Love wishes. Now, even though this is a money moon, with your chart, you may have your Taurus planets out in the house of relationships. So this might be a perfect love time for you. The love wishes I have is, I want to allow myself to recognize I have value. Next one is, I want to easily release feelings of unworthiness. Next is, I want to feel excitement and curiosity with the people I'm meeting. If you have any shyness, any reticence about meeting new people, approaching people with curiosity is a way to get past fear. If you just become curious about who they are and what kind of person are they, what are they interested in. If you become curious, all your fear will go away. The next wish is I want to be completely honest with myself about my block to love. Then I want to easily notice feeling confident and strong when relating with others. And finally, I want to easily find myself with someone who wants to begin a relationship with me. Our health wishes are I want to easily find ways to promote quick healing in my body. The next one is I want to easily allow pain in my neck or jaw to fade and disappear. I mentioned neck and jaw here because Taurus rules those parts of the body. So if you are having any pain in those areas, this is the new moon to deal with that. I want to find myself easily taking action that leads to my good health. And finally, I want to find there's been a total and complete healing of my, and then fill in the blank. Okay, now you finish up your wishes because then we're going to energize them. But first, I want to talk to you about one other thing. You have the option to go deeper into this process of improving your life, and I can help you. So I do astrology charts, and this big wheel that you see in the upper right-hand corner is an example of a chart I would use. We can see that this person has their sun in Virgo in the second house. They are Leo rising and have an Aquarius moon. And so these are some of the things that I would talk about. The wheel that goes, so I'm looking at the very center wheel. And then the next wheel is progressions. That's how a person is progressing emotionally. And then the solar arc is that middle wheel, and that's how a person, things that can happen to them. And then that outer wheel is transits, and that tells us about the timing. And so if you've had an interest in knowing what's coming up for your future, if you have decisions to make, getting an astrology chart done is really, really good idea. Now, I also do astrocartography. That's the map that you can see in the lower left-hand corner. Those lines are planet lines, and they would be particular to your chart. And so you can see crossing New York, there's a green horizontal line, and that might be a good line or a bad line, but it's a different line than the orange one going through Hartford, Connecticut. So looking at your astrocartography to figure out what's a good place to visit, where should I vacation, and where should I move? And even is the place I'm living now a good place? So that's what astrocartography is. I also do feng shui. I do the traditional feng shui, the form school, which is very much about doing an aesthetically pleasing feng shui. I also help people with colors, where I can tell you the meaning of different colors, and so you can decide then what colors would be best in a bedroom versus a living room versus an office. I do use feng shui cures at times, like the little lucky money cat that you see in the lower left-hand corner. And also, if you're building a house, if you are in that construction place, then we can consult the compass, where we can find out the quality and the quantity of the energy coming into a piece of property. So let me know if you're interested in getting some feng shui done. So now we're going to energize our wishes, and that means we're going to not just use your energy and the energy of the universe, but I want you also to visualize everybody who's doing this on this new moon period that is taking this class, energizing their wish, watching this video. When I add up everybody who is at the live class, getting the download, the MP3, and watching the video, we are now over 200 people every month. So that's a lot of energy that we can pull together to energize your wishes. So I want you to put your hand on the piece of paper. And I want you to use your power hand. That's the hand you write with. And I want you to picture that these 200 plus people are all doing the same, even though they might have done it at different times. I want you to picture that they're doing the same. And I want you to take a deep breath, and I want you to feel that you're inhaling the power of the universe. And now exhale. And as you exhale, I want you to blow that energy onto the paper. And I want you in your mind's eye to see that the paper is moving and rustling under your hand, and that it's moving and rustling under all those 200 pages. And one more time, I want you to inhale. And this time, I want you to inhale the golden light of the universe, this abundant energy, this vast, vast universe that can manifest anything we want. And now exhale that golden light onto the piece of paper and watch the paper turn gold. Watch the little flecks of gold fall down on the piece of paper, and so it's just infused with gold. And one more time, I want you to inhale, and this time I want you to inhale the light of the universe, all the light of the stars. And now I want you to exhale, and I want your piece of paper to just glow with light. It's glowing with the light of a star. It feels warm under your hands. It's alive. It is manifesting things for you. Things are easily coming to you, and you're welcoming it. I want to thank you so much for being in this class. The next new moon wishes, because the class follows the new moon, the next live class will be Tuesday, June 16th at 9 a.m. If you want the access codes, the phone number, and all that, just email me or put a message in the comments below. I wish you joy and prosperity. Keep moving forward. Know the stars are lighting your way. Until next month, many blessings.